Showtime with Coop is brought to you by Prize Picks and the Gametime app.
The top 5 Laker players.
Ooh, that's a great question. People always ask me this, and I always say, okay, top 5 Laker players ever, regardless of position.
Regardless of position.
Kareem, Magic, Jerry West, Kobe, and Elgin Baylor. Can you top that? Am I wrong about any of those guys?
Well, yes, you are.
Ooh, who did I miss?
You are. I'm gonna do that. For me, the top 5 Laker players, okay, in no particular order. Magic.
Wait a minute. I forgot Magic. Magic?
You forgot Magic.
Yeah, let me see. I think I did forget Magic. Wait, let me do that again. Stop before
you go.
Did I forget? No, I said Kareem and Magic. No, I said Magic. I said Magic.
Okay.
I said Kareem, Magic, Kobe, West, Baylor. Yeah, so I said yeah, because
you done, MTC. Now you think overthinking it now. All right, my top 5 is Magic, Kareem,
yeah,
LeBron, Kobe,
yeah.
And this is a hard one for me because I have one, either Shaq, Jerry, or Wilt. I love Elgin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Jerry West.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
hard to argue with any of that stuff. And you're right. I mean, obviously, I forgot Shaq. I didn't put Shaq in there. But I asked Chick Hearn one time. Chick had seen them all. Chick had seen Michael Jordan, of course. Chick didn't live long enough to see LeBron. But I asked Chick, Chick, who's the great? We were sitting on the bus alone right after the game, waiting for you and Magic and everybody to show up after your showers because you guys should take forever. So I'm sitting there with Chick. I say, hey, Chick, who's the greatest player you've ever seen? You know, by that time, Chick has seen them all. And Chick said to me, Elgin Baylor was the greatest player he ever seen.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. But you know what? With LeBron's emergence, he knocks that out the hoop. You listen to Showtime with Coop. Our sponsors, Gametime app. You know what, MT? Sponsors are good to have.
You know, Gametime is just a terrific app. And if you're looking for tickets, I mean, the Gametime app is a great way to get Celtics tickets. Also, not just Celtic tickets, but also for concerts and shows as well. Plus, they have a new feature called Gametime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. It'll filter out all the fluff, and it'll give you incredible deals on great seats right away. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets and thousands of websites. And then don't forget, they have the super deal with the Gametime app. I mean, the super deal is the best deal on the board at that particular time, so you can always make sure you're on the lookout for that. So download the Gametime app today, create an account, use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, download the Gametime app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CLNS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Why, it's game time.
MT, next question, next topic. Got Mychal Thompson here. Reilly versus JJ Redick.
As far as coaching?
I mean, you can't say who's the better coach, but can you compare the two?
Yeah, they kind of do remind me of each other. They're very arrogant in their knowledge of the game. They're demanding. They treat you like men, as long as you are accountable. And they're very intense, the way they approach the game. So he does remind me of a young Pat Riley. Now, will he achieve Pat Riley's success? We hope he does. But I've said it on the air before that his style kind of reminds me of Riles a little bit.
Do you think he could match Riles? And nowadays, NBA head coach could dress down a little bit. They got nice little warm-up suits on. Where Riles, back in the day, the coaches had to wear suits and look nice over there. You think his wardrobe could catch up with Riles?
Oh, yeah, I think so. He went to Duke, so, he's got a lot of cool, stylish clothes. He's a good look.
What'd you say?
He went to Duke, so he knows how to dress properly.
What's that got to do with anything going to Duke?
Because Duke, they're all a bunch of preppies. They all probably went to high school. Those guys like Grant Hill, those guys probably had to wear ties and coats in the high schools they went to, the academies they went to, and they recruited them out of. But yeah, JJ Redick looks like a male model, looks like an Abercrombie and Fitch type of guy. So when he puts on a suit, he's a good-looking guy, man. So yeah, he Pat Riley was one of the handsomest coaches ever, and now JJ Redick steps into his shoes. Oh yeah, he's like a young Riles, no question about it.
You know what, MT, I love having you on because you use words that that I haven't heard before. I know what they mean when you say them, but somebody that speaks so eloquently and comes out, I did not expect those words to come out of your mouth, MT.
Oh yeah, man. I know a good looking man when I see it, man. Rick Fox is the best looking Laker ever, and I'm the second best looking Laker ever. And Pat Riley's the best looking coach that's ever walked the sidelines. Now JJ Redick looks like he's ready to assume that title.
All right, all right. Okay, MT. One more topic: Riles versus Jimmy Butler. What? Why don't they leave that alone? Why don't they go their separate ways and be quiet? Because obviously Miami did not fare well this year. I don't think that has a lot to do with Coach Riley. Coach Spoelstra again, but again, that's the makeup of your team. But getting rid of Jimmy really hurt them. Here, this guy leaves Miami, and look where he got the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, Jimmy's doing well. He's a very moody type guy. If he doesn't get his way, then he's going to blow up wherever he is unless he gets his way. But that doesn't work with Pat Riley. He don't care who you are. If you don't go along with the program, he's going to get rid of you. And when it comes to their resumes, there's no argument there. You're going to argue with Pat Riley, who's got like 9 championship rings. So you're always going to lose that battle if you're going to go head to head against Pat Riley. So they did the right thing by, if you're not going to go along with the Miami culture and program or Pat Riley's rules, Riley's rules, you got to go. He doesn't care who you are. I mean, Jerry West told me that when I first joined you guys on Showtime. He told me, Michael, if you're not happy here, you just let me know, and I'll get rid of you. And I like that. If you don't want to be in a certain place, which Jimmy Butler showed Miami, I'm ready. I'm out of here. I'm ready to go. Then see you later. It's like in any relationship, whether it's personal or business. If someone doesn't want to be with you, then it's time to say goodbye.
Good transition, MT, because I was transitioning to you because I was going to say, what effect did you have on the Lakers when you joined us? And before you answer, I'm going to tell you what their thought process was in going out and getting you. Back in 83, 84, we're hassling with the Celtics and bothering them. Really couldn't get over the hump. We had Jim Jones, Spencer Haywood. They brought in Joe Cooper. They was bringing in another big to kind of fill in behind Kareem. And I remember the moment that Jerry West called us into his office. He called me, Magic, and Worthy. And he calls us in. He goes, hey, you guys, listen, thinking about making another move. I want to bring in a big. What do you guys think of Mychal Thompson? And my first words out of my mouth were like, we can get him? Because the position and the way you played up in Portland, Mike, I always admired that and your tenacity. You weren't the flashiest player, but you were one of the hardest working players. You were not that good looking, despite what you may think. But I thought you played hard and your muscles. That's what I was impressed with. I always said, this guy got a great NBA body. So when he had it be brought to us, I was like, hey, if we can get him, let's get him. Because he was going to be the player that we had to have in order for us to beat the Boston Celtics with that front line of Bird, Mychal, and Parrish. Obviously, you playing with Mychal, you knew him better than anyone. And when Jerry said that, I was going. Obviously, Magic and Worthy put their stamp on it, and bringing you to the Lakers probably was the second best thing they did. The first best thing they did was bringing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The third best thing they did was drafting Michael Cooper.
That's true. Drafting Michael Cooper was overlooked. Should have been a first. No question about that. I mean, you're a Hall of Famer. That proved that. I didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah, but when you guys acquired me, I brought 2 things to the table that really improved you guys. And you guys already had it all. I played against Showtime, and I knew how tough you guys were. But when you acquired me, you made you guys smarter and better look.
And our team looked better. Our team photos look prettier, huh?
Exactly. That's right. All I had to do is grab onto you guys' coattails and just do whatever I was told to do. And I was so excited to be there because I knew how great you guys were. Because we had a good team up in Portland, but we always knew deep down that if we had to face you guys in the second round or the first round, we were good, but not good enough to beat that Showtime Laker team. You guys were that great. And that's why your titles, the titles that you guys won or we won, was so much better than what Kobe, Shaq's titles were, because people always ask me about that. Kobe versus Magic, 5 championships each. Who's the greatest Laker ever? I said Magic because look who the Showtime Lakers had to beat. You guys just didn't beat good players. You guys had to beat good Hall of Fame teams. Dr. J,
exactly, yep.
The bad boys you had to go beat. And, of course, the Celtics with the best front line in history. So I said, you look at Coop and Magic's 5 championship rings and Cap's 5 rings. That's way better than anything Kobe and Shaq have accomplished.
Well, I love you on the team, MT, because you know what? When you came on the team, our second team was kicking ass in practice. We used to wear that first team out, Magic, Worthy, Kareem, all of them. With you there, you gave us a legitimate big, and we could compete with them. So that's why I love you. But again, talking about the one person that made this all possible. Let's reflect on Jerry West for a little bit. Your thoughts about him?
Greatest sports executive in sports history, regardless of sports, the four major sports. He could recognize talent, best talent evaluator, I think, in all the sports, especially in basketball. But if you want to throw in baseball, hockey, and football there too, I'll throw him out there too. He just knew what it took, what kind of a player it took to be a winner. Matter of fact, not only did he acquire me, but I'm so thankful for, he was the reason my son Clay was with the Warriors. The Warriors were thinking about drafting Brandon. I forget his name. He went to the Pistons.
Ingram? Brandon?
No, not Ingram.
Oh, okay, I know you're talking about.
The little guard. They were thinking about drafting him, but Jerry West went to see Clay work out and told Joe Lacob and the Warrior brass, that's what we're going to get right there. Then, when the Warriors were going to trade Clay and I think Harrison Barnes for Kevin Love, Jerry West said, if you trade him, I resign. And so Jerry West had that eye for talent. Yeah. And he was the reason. Him and Dr. Buss, we can't forget about Dr. Buss, who hired Jerry and let Jerry do his job, because Dr. Buss is a great owner, and he also recognized what it takes to build a winner too, and he allowed Jerry West to do it. But to me, Jerry West is the greatest talent evaluator in basketball history. Everybody misses every now and then. You all miss on a prospect. But overall, Jerry West is the greatest ever. And that's what makes him arguably the greatest Laker ever, because not only was he a great Laker player, but he built Showtime. So maybe he is the greatest Laker ever when you encompass everything.
You know what, MT, I was out there because we took a recruit to look at the statues out at LA Live in front of Crypto. Do they have a statue of Dr. Buss?
No, not yet.
They need to put one out there for him, because he is I'm with you on that one. Best Kareem story. Go ahead.
Worthy's got to get a statue too.
Who?
James Worthy.
Oh, big game. Yep. Best Kareem story.
The best one, so many good ones. I remember when you guys cut up his jeans in the locker room, and boy, he was mad. I thought he was going to beat us all up. But one time in practice, like you said, we were scrimmaging, right? And at this time, the match was on my team. And I guess the loser had to run or something like that. And it was a very intense scrimmage, a very intense practice. You know, Pat Reilly, all the practices were very intense. Anyway, so the game was close. Somebody was going to win, and Kareem had scored a couple of baskets in a row. And Magic told me, man, be physical with him. Hit his ass. Kareem looked at me and says, you touch me, I'd knock your ass out. I went, okay. I told
you back down, MT. Get out of here.
You got that right. I remember Ken Benson. Oh, yeah.
My best Kareem story. As you said, we had cut up his pants for his birthday. Remember how we cut up his jeans? He used to wear jeans, that UCLA jacket, and some shoes without socks. And we thought it was funny. They took him out of the locker room, so all of us got a pair of scissors, and we cut his jeans up. He wore these jeans every time to home games for like 10 years. Cut his jeans up. So Kareem came in, saw his jeans just threaded. He goes, you know what? I'm going to get all of you MS. So everybody's laughing, having a good time, and I probably got the worst of it all. I know with Mark Landsberger, he tied all his clothes up, wet them up, and tied them up in a knot. We are traveling to New York, back east, and we're, Kareem sat in the first class up there when we were flying commercial with everybody else. But I went to sleep. Magic and I used to sit behind him. Kareem got Nair. And for those of you that don't know what Nair is, it's the cream that women use on their legs that takes off hair without having to shave. They just rub it on, leave it on for a few minutes, and wipe it off, and all the hair is gone. Kareem took Nair and put it in my hair while I was asleep. We're getting ready to land. We're landing in New York, and I've got the blanket kind of like here, and I do this, man, and I smell like this burning smell. And I'm like, oh, wow. And he had put Nair in my head, and that was it took all the hair off right here, and that started my premature baldness. And he thought that was the funniest shit ever. He laughed, ha, 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 ha. And that then told me never, ever, ever to fuck with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I left Cap alone from after that. But Kareem was a jokester, funny, probably the smartest guy that I've ever known. And that's my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar story.
But how did you not feel him putting stuff in your head? You were that sleep? You were that deep?
Sleep. MT, early in the morning. We left like at 6. I'm asleep. Kareem, he let me get into a real deep one too, and put it right there, man. But yeah, I love him, but I also hate his ass too. So,
him of
go
that?
ahead.
Do you ever remind him of that?
What?
Do you ever remind Kareem that
Oh,
he
I
did?
do. And he laughs like it happened that day. He laughs about it because that was his way. I think I was the harshest one he got, but you know what? His birthday is after mine, April 15th. We're Aryans, so I forgive him for that. We got Mychal Thompson on Showtime with Coop. MT, two more topics, and I'm gonna let you go. I know it's early in the morning. Uh, who would you call? Give me some Showtime unsung heroes, people that don't get all the accolades, but other than yourself and myself, other people that were like so-called Showtime unsung heroes.
Well, two guys come to mind: Kurt Rambis. Well, three: Kurt Rambis, AC Green, and Byron Scott. You know,
Yeah.
Byron Scott arguably should be considered seriously for the Hall of Fame. When you look at his career, his full career, three-time NBA champion, two-time NBA coach, took the Nets to the finals, didn't win, but took the Nets to the finals. He was an All-American at Arizona State. So, because the Basketball Hall of Fame encompasses your whole basketball career. So Byron Scott, one of the best shooting guards as far as shooting accuracy ever played this game. Imagine if Byron could shoot 10, 12 threes a game back in those days, the way he could shoot the ball. Kurt Rambis, one of the best role players in Laker history, the way he hustled every game, and AC Green never missed a game. So those three guys pop out right now, obviously. And of course, you've already got your flowers being a Hall of Famer and being recognized for your great career. So, but those three, if you were in a Hall of Famer, I would definitely mention you in that. But those three guys definitely were also as important to Showtime as you four Hall of Famers who made the Hall.
And you know what? I was going to say that, but one person I was going to add, and the reason that he really didn't get to fulfill his whole career was because of injury, would be Mitch Kupchak.
Oh
Mitch
yeah.
was a hell of a player, went on to be assistant general manager and then the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. But you hit it on the head. Byron, AC Green, Kurt Rambis, Mitch Kupchak. I go along with you with that on the Unsung Heroes. You listening to Showtime with Coop. We got Mychal Thompson on. And our last topic, MT, is called Start, Bench, Cut.
All right.
I'm gonna give you three names. You tell me who you're starting, who you gonna bench, and who you gonna cut and why. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Don Nelson, Elgin Baylor, Satch Sanders.
Well, I'm cutting Don Nelson. I mean, he's gone.
Now, Don Nelson played for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor played for the Lakers. Satch Sanders played for the Celtics. Why are you cutting Don Nelson?
Well, because he's a good guy. Obviously, he's an NBA champion, but he's the less talented of the three. And I like Don Nelson. He was a innovative type of coach, but he's got to go. He's got to be cut. And of course,
Who are you starting?
Did you just say Elgin Baylor? And I just said he's one of the greatest players ever. Elgin Baylor and Satch is coming off the bench. That's easy. Give me a tough one.
Okay, all right, okay.
Like Jordan,
Elgin Baylor, he's
Jordan
starting. Satch Sanders, he's benching. Don Nelson, he's cutting. Now, you know Nelson hit that shot that beat the Lakers that went up over the backboard about 5 feet and came straight back down.
Can I ask you one?
Let me ask you my last one, then you can ask me one, okay? Here's your second one, all right? Start, bench, cut. Wes Unseld, Bob Love, Butterbean, and Randy Smith.
Oh, Bob Love is getting cut. I love Butterbean. He was smooth. Randy Smith is being benched. I'm starting Wes Unseld, man. Rookie of the
Why
year.
you starting Wes?
Rookie of the year, MVP is and one in the same year. Hall of Famer, tough and as strong, and nobody messed with Wes Unseld. He was a tough guy in the middle. I played against him, 6'8" center, but one of the greatest rebounders ever, one of the smartest players ever. Won a championship with the Washington Bullets. So definitely. Here's one. I was gonna give you Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, but that's too easy because that's too. But here's what I asked guys this last week during dinner and on the bus. Okay, here's my three for you: Hakeem, Jokic, Shaq. I know that's tough, ain't it?
Hakeem, Jokic, or Shaq.
Yeah.
I'm going to start Hakeem because Hakeem was probably one of the most polished centers in the game that's ever played.
So is Jokic.
Had all the moves in the middle, could run like a gazelle, could block shots like Bill Russell without knocking them out of bounds, and could hit his free throws. Good free throws, okay? I'm gonna bench Shaq And the reason I bench Shaq because he's the most powerful player to ever play. That's right. That's right. I'll make your mouth drop open because Shaq was the most imposing player that's ever played this game. Next to Artis Gilmore. Artis Gilmore was to me before Shaq was the strongest player that's ever played. But
What
again,
about
Shaq was just a dominating force, but he couldn't hit his free throws consistently. So I'm gonna go with him, and I got to cut the Joker
what?
because
Whoa! You cut the Joker?
yeah.
Woo! Yeah, why?
Yeah, because the Joker is he.
He's the most polished center ever.
Well, I would say this: he's an international player. Okay, I'm going with the hometown players.
Yeah.
Who would you out of those three? What was your start, bench, and cut?
You know, we talked about this last week in Minnesota, and with Stu Lance, and even Stu had to go. Ooh, I don't know. I would start Jokic.
What?
Coop.
Are you crazy?
Coop. We have never seen a center do what he does with the ball, man. He can do it. He's the best passer I've ever seen. So I'm starting him, and I'm cutting Shaq. And I got to bench Hakeem. Shaq, and I love Shaq. But Shaq, you couldn't go to him in the last 2 minutes of the game. Like you said, Kobe had to take over and be the closer. And I love Shaq, and I hate to do it. And Hakeem, like you said, with his footwork, could play defense as well as offense. It's tough to pick Jokic over him. But Jokic, he's the best passer I've ever seen. He can score at all three levels, post, mid, and threes. And his defense has improved enough now where I can respect his defense. But he's not as good as Hakeem on defense, of course. But this man, the other day, Coop, he had a 60-point triple-double. What other centers ever done that? Maybe Wilt, because they didn't keep assists or even blocks a lot when Wilt played. To me, I start Jokic over just about any center except Wilt and Kareem.
Well, there you have it. MT cutting a Laker over some other of your international player.
Well, I'm international. I'm from the Bahamas.
I know. That's why you side that way. I see a little flag back there. But listen, Mike, thank you so much for coming on, spending a little time with us. I always enjoy you. You're very personable. And you're not. There's a difference between pretty and cute.
That's right.
You don't want to be pretty. You want to be, you're cute, Mike. That's what it is. Okay. Pretty is you leaning on the other side of the fence, but that's a whole nother story. MT, thank you, my brother, for coming on. Appreciate you. Hope your family and everybody's doing well. And there you have it. Another Showtime with Coop in the box. Mychal Thompson.
I'm going to talk to a Hall of Famer.
Bye, Mike.
Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you really want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and so much more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in flavor with none of the fuss. So get started at factormeals.com/boomertakes50off and use code boomertakes50off to get 50% off free shipping on your first box. That's code boomertakes50off at factormeals.com/boomertakes50off for 50% off plus free shipping.